I just wanted to tell you about our Color Keeper stand and store. So the Color Keeper was born because I got addicted to adult coloring and I couldn't find a great tool for not only storing my colored pencils and markers, but also for using them, right? They were all over the countertop, all over my desk. I tried putting them in a little shallow box, whatever, nothing worked. I couldn't keep them in order. I love to keep my colors in order. So that was a problem for me as well. And so what we came up with was what we call the Color Keeper stand and store. So there's a little handle right here on the top of it, but you can see it's pretty slimline, so it'll just slide onto a bookcase or a shelf and stand up there for you with no problem. If you're storing markers in it, you're just going to want to store it this way on the shelf, and that's going to keep your markers inside, your double tip markers, nice and flat as well. Mine is loaded with pencils. So when you flip to the back, you're going to see that there's this large clear pocket. So what I've got in my large clear pocket is my rotating design board, right? So that's what I use to color on. Fits in there perfectly. This will also hold coloring paper or coloring books, sketch pad, note paper, anything like that, obviously. But to use the stand and store, you got to take whatever's in this back pocket out first. Then you're going to open up your Color Keeper stand and store. Now you might have your reading glasses, your pencil sharpener, or your eraser tucked into these elastic bands here, and you can leave those there. I've got a color book also tucked into the middle of mine. So now what's going to happen is your Color Keeper stand and store is going to stand up so you can actually get to all your pens and pencils. How do you do that? So it's long and flat like this if you lay it out. And then you'll notice that there's some stitching and some breaks in the Color Keeper, and that's going to allow you to fold it like this, flat, right? So you can see I've kind of got this like M pattern. It's hard for me to do from the back, but you can see this little M shape, right? Right there. So that's what you're looking for, that kind of an M shape. And then you're going to just lay it down, and the flap that has the Totally-Tiffany embroidery on it is going to be sticking out the bottom. Fold that flap under and stick it back to the Velcro like this. And now you're going to see that you've got a little bit more of a steady M. And right here at the bottom of the back pocket, you're going to find a little elastic tab with some Velcro on it. And that is going to go around the front and hook on to the Velcro on the front. Now I want you to notice, I'll do it on the other side as well. So there's two of these, the little elastic right here, and you're just gonna pull it around and hook it onto that Velcro on the front. And that is what gives you the stand of the stand and store. Now you'll notice that I didn't take the clear plastic covers off my pencils before I started doing that, right? So you want to leave those clear plastic covers on, because when you're flipping your stand and store around, that's what's going to keep those pencils in the pocket for you. And then once you get all situated, then you can fold your flaps back. So I'm just going to fold this one back and reconnect the Velcro there. And this one I'm going to fold back, and that's going to expose that other color band, right? So I've taken this color band and colored it in to match the pencils that are in the second row. And I'm just going to tuck that flap in between the two pockets, and so I'll be able to see what color my pencils are in that second row, right? So that's one of the challenges with pencils or markers, is the color that they are isn't necessarily the color that they create. So I've colored in my color bar here, light to dark, so I can see what it looks like when I color real hard or when I do multiple layers. And then I've also got the numbers for my pencils on there too, so it's really easy for me to keep those organized and easy to get to. So super simple. You can see now how it stands up at that nice angle, right? So when you're coloring with it, it's easy to pull your pencils in and out. Now the pockets are plastic, so there's going to be some stretch. So if it feels like things are kind of tight going in, it will hold up to 72 pencils. Just kind of jam them in there and get those pockets stretched out. And the more you use it, the easier it'll be to get those in and out. Now, while I'm talking about pocket stretch, before I fold this up, if you are using big fat markers like these type of markers right here, don't be afraid to put them in, and they're a little bit tight, especially because they have this rubber. So don't be afraid to put them in, and then take something, and I just used my twistable crayon here, and I just jammed it in the pocket. And this one, I took my bone folder and jammed that in the pocket. So I'm just going to stretch out those pockets a little bit and then leave it like that for 24 hours, preferably somewhere kind of warm, just, you know, room temperature. And then you'll be able to pull those fatter markers in and out. So there is going to be some stretch in there. Don't be afraid to stuff something small in there and get that stretch for your marker pockets. Okay, so now you're done using your Color Keeper Stand and Store. Before you fold everything back up, you're going to want to pull those top panels over and reconnect them to the Velcro. And that is what's going to hold your pencils in place when you start taking your stand apart. So I'm going to unhook this Velcro, and I'm going to unhook this Velcro. And you can see how that tips over once the Velcro's unhooked. Well, if you still had your flap back, when you tipped it over, if your pockets were loose, these aren't, but if they were, let's say if you only had 2 pencils in and it tipped over, then those pencils are going to fall out, right? So that's why you want to close the lid first and open the lid last when you're putting your Stand and Store away. So I put my flaps back over. I unconnected my little elastic and Velcro straps. I'm going to open this back up, right? I've got it back flat again. Put my book in, close it up. Again, if I had an eraser or reading glasses or a pencil sharpener, any of those things, I could put those right back in those loops. Now I'm going to put my rotating design board away. And now I've got everything packed up. I'm in the store mode now. So remember, pencils can store this way, but if you've got those double-tipped markers, you want to put it on your shelf this way so that the markers stay flat and you can use that handle to pull it off the shelf. Thanks so much for tuning in today to learn about our Color Keeper Stand and Store. I know you are going to love creating with this product.